All right, y'all. So apparently, the graphics on NBA 2K games, as the years pass on and the 2K dev team gets access to better consoles with more capabilities, the graphics seem to be getting worse. How is that even possible? And if you're anything like me, you wouldn't have even noticed this stuff. It wasn't too long ago that I went back on to NBA 2K24 and I thought the graphics from NBA 2K24 to 2K25 were an upgrade. But it seems like it's all smoke and mirrors. We're about to get into all the details. If any of you guys are new here, you could help us reach 110,000 subscribers by subscribing today. Consider dropping a like, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and let's get to the video.
It's AllCity. Load up that clip.
Well, apparently, all 2K players are wearing glove goggles because we're not seeing the decline in graphics when we purchase new versions of 2K. Well, it just so happens a creator recently took a deep dive into the graphics of 2K and they noticed that there's been a steady decline in graphics as the years go on. We're gonna check out a video from SOFTDRINKSTV inquiring whether or not 2K's graphics are getting worse. Quite a few members in the 2K community asked me to review this video. One of the first was the good homie Semper Reloaded. The video is hella interesting and I think it really exposes what's going on here. I mean, a lot of players in the community are already upset that we're paying to play. A lot of people paying to win. In other games, it's called paying for power. Meanwhile, it seems like certain people may be taking certain shortcuts on the whole development of 2K games. I would think with the amount of money that 2K brings in, adding to that also the new capabilities of the newest consoles, the graphics should be getting better, not worse. Before we get into the official video, I want to reference these posts from BadgePlug complaining about the lighting. He showcases two different images and he says lighting 1 versus lighting 2. 2K, you don't even have to remove this realistic lighting in quotations that y'all love so bad, but please at least give us an option to turn it off. Have you guys ever gone into the park? The lighting is really bad, where you see damn near half the court is dark and half the court is extra bright, and sometimes it messes you up that you can't even really gauge the cue on your jump shot, especially if you're in one of those dark areas. I'll reference this next post that depicts it perfectly, showcasing the light and dark spots on a court. BadgePlug says the worst ones in my opinion are the courts that are half lit, half shaded. It's hard to see the cue on your jump shot in the shaded areas and just overall doesn't look good on the court. He said, I've passed on many videos or even just playing in the park because the court is completely dark. Who's responsible for the lighting at 2K? Mikey, who is the one doing the lighting at 2K? Come on, man, we used to never have this problem. You know, it's like 2K is trying so hard to be realistic with limited tools. Or maybe they're just using the wrong tools because 2K doesn't want or need for anything considering how successful they've been. They have unlimited financial resources, unlimited access to real life basketball considering their partnership with the NBA. So why the hell do we get this $19.99 lighting on our 2K video games? It makes zero sense. Luckily for us, we have creators like Soft Drinks to help break this stuff down. I'm gonna react to certain aspects of this video, deep diving into 2K's graphics on a heavy decline. But if you guys would like to see the full video from Soft Drinks, the link for that video will be in the description below. While you're there, make sure to subscribe and tell them AllCity sent you. All right, y'all, so here we are on Soft Drinks TV. We're under the video title, Are NBA 2K Graphics Getting Worse? If y'all go check out this video, be sure to subscribe and let's see what Soft Drinks TV got going on
I
here.
released a retrospective on NBA 2K14, and I briefly touched upon the legacy this game has when it comes to visuals. For many, this game from 2013, the first NBA 2K to hit the PlayStation 4 generation, was the best looking sports game ever made. The lighting, arenas, hardwood, jersey textures, player skin, everything looked lifelike, incredible even. The sky was the limit for video game graphics back when the PS4 and Xbox One first came out. These games looked real, and how much better would they improve with time? Well, here's NBA 2K25, the latest NBA 2K title, now for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. The game runs in a higher resolution than ever before, and the picture is very sharp, but there's just something off about it. Compared to the 2K14 footage we just looked at, 2K25 might have more detail, but it also lacks something intangible. In this video, we are going to compare footage I captured between NBA 2K14 and NBA 2K25 to get to the bottom of this once and for all. Does 2K14 really look better than a game 11 years newer? In what areas is it better, and in what areas is it worse?
An 11-year difference. We're looking at right now, what you see on screen is NBA 2K14. And if you're anything like me, when you started watching this video, you were thinking you were going to see a dramatic change in graphics, something that's significantly different, that shows the difference in consoles that these games were developed on. Right now, with this video paused, looking at the screen, most people wouldn't be able to tell that what you see on screen is a game that's 11 years old.
I started this comparison off with pre-game intros and a regular game of the Heat at the Lakers using the LeBron era play now on 2K25 and the default rosters on 2K14. Here is NBA 2K14. Something about the players and the arena lighting seems different than modern 2K. The yellow and other colors are more saturated and look more authentic. Jersey materials move fluidly and represent the era a lot better than what we're about to see. The on-court gameplay is fast and fluid, and it looks pretty nice. The court is reflective and well lit. Jersey
You know what? It sucks because I don't think players ever had an issue with NBA 2K's graphics, even thinking as far back as I can remember. Most online 2K players' issues had to do with like the bugs that were in 2K. And I remember back then thinking, hey, if this game looks this amazing right now, when they start improving things like gameplay and getting rid of the bugs and adding some quality of life type of improvements, the game is going to be amazing. I had no idea that 2K was going to take this trajectory with gameplay, completely switching it from the smooth fluidity that we had back then with NBA 2K14.
physics are realistic, and for an 11-year-old game, this looks pretty damn great. Here are some free throws with Kobe. I think 2K14 looks at its best when zoomed in like this.
And you know, the thing is that we didn't even realize this stuff until we're looking back, until SoftDRINKSTV decided to make this video and make the comparison between older versions of 2K and what we're getting right now on newer consoles with much more advanced capabilities. You wouldn't have even thought anything different. You would have just thought that we're advancing with graphics. But when we look back at it, we get to
Showing
see
off
how
detail,
good
shading, lighting,
the
color
older games
saturation, etc. The art direction in this game was great.
Absolutely.
Now let's look at the exact same situation in NBA 2K25. You might immediately notice more detail, more crowd members, more advanced and diverse animations going on, and yet there's something off here. It's dull. The court looks more like rubber than polished hardwood. Despite representing the same era, the jerseys are tight and lack the loose cloth physics of 2K14. The overall saturation of the colors is washed out. Player movement is slower but more refined. There's more consistency in 2K25 and less warping and clipping, and yet it still looks worse.
Not only does the game look worse, it plays worse. So now we got a game that's noticeably been on a decline in regards to gameplay. Without us players even realizing it, the gameplay graphics are also on a
Go back to 2K14 to compare. This 11-year-old game, as I mentioned earlier, has something intangible, hard exactly to point to, that makes it look better despite a worse resolution and less complexity. It's the jersey physics, the basketball itself.
I like the jersey
Everything
physics.
looks so good.
Everything
I could
does
sit
look
here
good.
and play around in replay mode, capturing footage all day in this game. It's beautiful. 2K25 doesn't look bad, but it looks less authentic. Kobe actually has more tattoos here, but his face and head don't look right. His jersey is way too tight and doesn't seem to have the proper yellow shade.
It's almost like we got our fingers crossed, just doing our best to keep hope alive that we can get what we once had before.
Skin doesn't look as realistic. It looks like a high-resolution video game, which is what it is, but you would never mistake this for real life. Where if we go back to 2K14, this might honestly trick me from a distance. That's what Kobe looks like. That's how his jersey fit. And that's how the Staples Center looked. Why has 2K regressed graphically? I'm trying to be fair, so again, 2K25 is more complex and has more details.
Wow.
It's rendering more objects, it has more varied animations and player models, and yet, again, it just doesn't look as good as an 11-year-old NBA 2K game.
What do you guys think? For the folks that are watching, because I see the difference, and I'm wondering,
Here's a zoomed out look
wondering if you guys are seeing the difference as well. And if you do notice a difference, which do you like better? Do you like the older versions, the way they look? Like you said, you see more saturation in the colors, the courts don't look washed out. But of course, for current versions of 2K, they're made in higher resolutions. So
the entire court and arena in 2K14. Notice the lighting and reflections all over the hardwood, the fans wearing yellow, and despite lacking the finer details 2K25 might have, from a distance the lighting here looks almost real.
It
In
does.
2K25, Staples Center
Oh,
looks pretty
man.
dull. The shine and shadows of 2K14 are gone. The hardwood is as basic as can be.
Yeah.
This screams you are looking at a video game.
Absolutely. I don't know if it's just my love for 2K, but I was thinking that the gameplay graphics were actually advancing until we compare the two. When we're looking at them side by side, that's when we notice, like, wow, that court does look washed out. The player likenesses do look lifeless. There is something off about it when you make the comparison.
Where 2K14 screams,
let it keep
this
going.
might be a photograph. Why the change over time? I feel like a lot of newer games focus more on resolution than the actual lighting and realism of their graphics. Game in 4K is cool and all, but if it takes up this many resources where the rest of the game has to suffer visually, what's even the point? Here is Heat-era LeBron James in motion and zoomed in on 2K14.
Wow.
His face might be a bit
Can you
less
believe that
realistic
that's
than in
2K14?
2K25,
That is
but the lighting of
wild.
his skin, the sweat, his jersey, etc., it looks great for an 11-year-old game.
11 years
In
ago.
2K25, he looks
Let's see
more
what he looks
detailed,
like in
although he looks more like current LeBron than Heat-era LeBron. His jersey looks worse and less authentic, his skin looks more like rubber, and his sweat looks more fake. Let's
Come
switch up the
on,
teams
yeah.
and location.
I might
Let's
have
see
to-
what Madison Square Garden looks like, as well as a young Steph Curry. In 2K14, this arena looks fantastic. The reflections look great, the hardwood looks polished, and the court is lit perfectly. I keep coming back to the lighting. Look how the court and players are lit up while the crowd is darkened. It seems to make a huge difference. And in 2K14,
does.
the
I can
lighting
see
is
that.
just so much more authentic because 2K actually sent a team of devs to visit and capture the lighting for every arena, and then it was replicated in-game. Why don't they do this anymore? Here's 2K25 and yikes.
Wow.
What is this?
Wow.
It seems like there's one giant overhead light, horribly
As opposed to
lighting
now.
everything. There are no
like you said, one
reflections,
big
there's no
floodlight.
shine. This is supposed to be the exact same
What's that?
Knicks arena from the exact same era.
Wow.
This looks horrible. Again, look at 2K14 in comparison.
So he just said that that's supposed to be the exact same arena from the same era. Oh, I just caught that. So he wanted to look at the Knicks arena at that time, and then he went back because he went back in 2K25 to this era, and that's what you're looking at on the court right there.
lighting. Look how
And
the
look at
court
how it
and
looks now. The same
It seems like
arena
there's one
looks
giant
like this.
overhead light, horribly lighting
That's
everything. There are no reflections, there's no shine. This is supposed to be the exact same Knicks arena from the exact same era. This looks horrible. Again, look at 2K14 in comparison. Let's compare the crowd. In 2K14, the crowd doesn't seem that complex. This should be easy to beat, right? But notice the fans wearing actual jerseys. We have Warriors jerseys and Knicks jerseys visible.
Okay.
Now here's the crowd in 2K25.
Wow.
Why is every fan wearing a casual outfit?
What in the
What's
world?
with the plaid pants? Why does
What?
everyone have plaid pants?
I didn't even catch
What
that.
team do these fans support?
I don't know. Why wouldn't the crowd be wearing jerseys, especially with the floor seats? Why wouldn't they have jerseys on supporting the team for the arena? I imagine the only reason I could think of is that they just wanted to make sure they're using the same crowd for every single arena. What is going on with 2K? Man,
Here's Kevin Durant in 2K14, and I think he looks pretty
look at the
dang
jersey
good.
moving.
The lighting, his jersey floating on his skinny ass frame. This is what KD looked like on the Thunder. KD doesn't look bad in 2K25. In fact, his face looks more detailed. But this is 36-year-old
look
Kevin
good.
Durant with worse lighting and more
25.
rubberized skin. The details are good, but the final picture is lacking authenticity via lighting. For our final comparison, let's look at Prime D Rose.
Okay.
Notice the visible jersey mesh holes on 2K14, the light
Wow.
reflecting off the black lines on the ball, Rose's face, his skin, his sweat. This looks great for a game from 2013. In 2K25, he just doesn't look right.
Oh,
It's
Lord,
good enough to clearly
ain't no
be Derrick
way.
Rose, but his face, skin,
Ain't
and uniform
no
don't compare at
way.
all. This easily looks worse in my
I'm gonna.
opinion. Isn't it strange that
You know
a
what I'm
2K
gonna do?
from
I'm gonna take screenshots from these two players from this video, and I'm gonna put them on X. We're gonna let this start circulating through the 2K community because people got to be on notice that there's no way that that's an 11-year difference in player likeness. So wild. And how many patch notes have we seen where they're updating player likenesses throughout the years? Insane.
11 years ago looks better than NBA 2K25? Lighting is clearly a very important factor when it comes to replicating sports authenticity,
2K14 you're looking
and
for.
2K seems to have forgotten all about it. High-resolution face scans and textures can only get you so far. There's more to video game visuals than that. Worse resolution games can look more authentic due to these small details. Thanks to mod creators in the community, if you
Lighting is
happen to own
everything.
NBA 2K25 on PC, there actually are mods that improve the lighting of the game. If 2K won't do it, the community will.
Wow.
DB's 2K mod has been sharing his progress with a lighting remix mod for 2K25, and his videos and screenshots look a lot more authentic than 2K25,
Interesting.
and much closer to what NBA 2K14 was doing.
Wow.
Check
look
him
at
out
the
on
lighting
Twitter
that.
at DEIBYSTK.
That's how the game should look. That's what we should
NBA
get from
2K25
2K
seem to-
developers. DB's 2K mod. So he's working on the lighting, and you can see that this is how 2K25 should look. But instead, we got an outside modder modding the PC version of 2K25 to make it look more realistic. Insane.
Check him
Doing
out
the
on
work
Twitter
that the
at
2K dev team gets paid to do.
DEIBYS2K.
DB's 2K
NBA
mod.
2K25 seemed to focus more on adding menu pop-ups for microtransaction
Oh,
ads
Lord.
and adding pointless
Who are you
fluff
telling? Well, if you're accustomed to just hitting X to move forward, it'll take you into another menu and you'll damn near buy a pack of VC without even realizing it. How many times did that happen to you guys? I know I've gone into the buy menu quite a few times solely because of this little shiesty trick that 2K is trying to pull on their player base.
like
It's
go-kart
just
racing to the
unnecessary.
city, instead of making their core game actually authentic.
Now, I got to tell you guys, I don't normally stress the graphics too much, which is why I never even noticed the differences between the graphics in 2K25 and older versions of 2K. Now, the differences in actual gameplay, the fluidity of your movement, how the animations transition, all this stuff is heavily noticeable. When you add that additional layer of a decline in graphics, it makes 2K25 unbearable. When you also add another layer on top of that to say that we're paying probably damn near double the amount of money that we used to pay in comparison to back then in 2K14, where the hell is that money going? It can't be going into gameplay. If it is, then they need to get rid of whoever's directing gameplay. And it can't be into graphics because we just learned that the graphics are in a steady decline. I think it's necessary that the community puts pressure on 2K, exposing details like this, showcasing the lackluster efforts from the 2K dev team. The gameplay itself is suffering, now the graphics are suffering, but what do you guys know? Microtransactions, they're just on a steady rise. As always, I'm curious to hear your thoughts about this stuff. Sound off in the comment section below. If any of you guys are new here, drop a like, drop a sub. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Easy, y'all. If you guys are tired of running with randoms and you're looking for players to run with on NBA 2K, come on out and join the AllCity 2K Discord. The link will be in the description below. Find players and get runs now. Drop a like and drop a sub on your way out. Leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all.